your kind of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, Ministry of Health confirms the measles transmission in Spanish lookout, urges vaccination and caution. Police investigate death of Roaring Creek student Moises Garbut. And the family seeks justice after man dies in San Pedro police custody. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Tuesday, May 13th, 2025.
It's the biggest pro SC card of the year, as 3 titles are at stake. As lightweight champion Marvin Mundo defends his belt against the #1 contender Raheem Lambe, and flyweight champion Jeffrey Martinez faces a hard-hitting Mexican Miguel Garcia Calderon. Plus KO specialist Diego Lopez from Honduras goes toe-to-toe with Kalen Smith from Belize City for the bantamweight belt. There will also be 11 other exciting MMA fights, including a special international female fight as May Blanco from Mexico faces the Nicaraguan Lady Oscarina Lopez in what is sure to be the fight of the night. General admission tickets are only $30 and VIP tickets are $100. On Saturday, May 17th, Prophecy Fighting Championship presents Pro FC 60 Martinez versus Garcia, live from the Princess Vegas Hotel and Casino in Santa Elena, Corazon, exclusively on the Express Plus app.
Pro FC 16 is brought to you by Sherwin-Williams, DigiWallet, Carousel Commercial Free Zone, Bellikin Stout.
Have you seen Lori?
Check in at the White Lotus, where paradise turns into a playground for the privileged, and every sun-soaked moment is dripping with intrigue. Stream The White Lotus on HBO Max, available with Centaur.
Good evening. With your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Since confirming the first case of the measles virus in Belize back in early April, health authorities have now confirmed ongoing measles transmission in the Spanish Lookout community following recent developments in the country. After confirming the presence of the first 2 cases on April 12th, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has been carrying out surveillance across the country while also implementing contact tracing, actively monitoring clinics and mobile units for fever and rash symptoms. On May 9th, 1 person was flagged in the community of Spanish Lookout who was exhibiting signs and symptoms. The individual did not have a travel history but was linked to someone who had recently traveled to Mexico.
Since April 27th, we have continued to do our heightened surveillance. We've continued to send laboratory samples for testing. Dr. Bear can say, I see you have 54 samples have been sent so far, and the only 2 laboratory confirmed were the ones that we reported on. Now, moving forward now to what has happened over the last few days. On Friday, the 9th of May, we were informed that there was someone with fever and rash at a facility in the Spanish Lookout area. We visited and we took samples for this person, and these samples are in the process of being run. We haven't received the results as yet, but clinically, that person fits the clinical definition of measles.
With the emergence of locally transmitted cases, the ministry tonight continues to urge Belizeans to update their vaccination status, which is the only way to remain protected from the virus.
It was a enhanced surveillance system countrywide, as Dr. Diaz was explaining, because we know that the vaccination coverage is low, so it's not just one community. We want to protect everyone. So we have been out there going to the communities, the rural health nurses, the public health inspectors, working with the communities to try to increase the vaccination coverage.
Persons planning to visit Spanish Lookout in the near future are advised to update vaccination status and consult with the Ministry of Health if you have children who are younger than 12 months and not yet eligible for the vaccine.
It says urges caution when visiting the area if you are unvaccinated. So if you're vaccinated, feel free to visit the area. If your children are vaccinated, feel free. We want to stress that it's the unvaccinated who are the persons at risk.
And as a reminder, the Ministry of Health advises anyone who is 18 months or older to get vaccinated if you have not yet done so. Persons who are planning to travel to places with confirmed cases of the measles virus are also asked to consult with the ministry for advice.
I think it would be good for us to just reiterate what's on the press release when it says who should get vaccinated. So routinely, children, 2 doses as a part of our routine immunization at 12 and 18 months of age. Unvaccinated individuals over 18 months old, 2 doses given 1 month apart. So if you have a 5-year-old who had missed the 12-month and 18-month, you can utilize that. Individuals who have received only 1 dose, an additional booster dose is recommended. And persons who might say, well, I think I got the vaccine. I remember that my mom used to give it, but I don't have my card. 1 dose is advised. And all our health facilities have these vaccines available, readily available. So you can walk in and get the vaccines. And as I said, if you want to make contact in other ways, we can, as much as possible, facilitate a campaign in your area.
Since the emergence of the first confirmed case of the measles virus in Belize in over 30 years, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has been conducting an all-out vaccination and education campaign across the country. Today, the ministry confirmed that it has administered over 2,000 vaccines since the first case in April.
We have administered so far 2,500 doses of vaccines.
From April to now.
From since the previous, April and May.
With all cases reported in Belize so far linked in some way to persons who have traveled to areas in neighboring Mexico, the Ministry of Health continues to monitor entry points to help minimize the chances of persons entering the country while exhibiting signs of being ill.
Have been doing, and what has always been ongoing, is that we do have point of entry surveillance through our public health inspectors. So public health inspectors are posted at the international airport and at the land borders.
Authorities are currently investigating the tragic death of 24-year-old Moises Garbutt, a resident of Roaring Creek Village and a father of 2. Garbutt was reported missing over the weekend, and his body was discovered this afternoon near a quarry in Belmopan. Garbutt was last seen on Saturday night, with reports indicating he spoke with his mother and girlfriend around 9 p.m. That evening marked his birthday, but when family members visited his residence the following day, he was nowhere to be found. Concerned by his sudden disappearance, Garbutt's relatives initiated their own search efforts after expressing frustration with the police's response. They claimed that the authorities had not provided adequate assistance and expressed fears that he may have been held against his will by unknown individuals. Today, Garbutt's aunt told the media that all evidence points to torture.
Well, we got a tip that he was in Warhead. I believe that it was a distraction to distract us from where he really was. And so my nephews decided that maybe he would be in a closer area to the area where he disappeared from. So we decided to start to comb that area across by Mortomaro and this area. So we started down closer to the edge of the road. And driving through here, my daughter saw some birds flying over here flying over, so we decided to stop here and check. And we went through the bushes because we saw like something was mashed down, like somebody walked through bushes. So we decided to go through there, and then when I told my family to go the opposite direction, and I went the opposite direction. And from about maybe 100 meters, I saw him there. He was already, his hands were up, he was stiff, he was already decomposing.
Wow. Did you see any signs of?
As mentioned, Garbutt went missing a little before midnight on Saturday. His family believes he was lured to his death.
Saturday night. His birthday is on Sunday, so he was bringing his birthday with his family. But he left where he is always at, where is with his uncles and his cousins, and he went down to I think a bar that was close by to get more drinks and stuff with one of his friends.
As Garbutt's family demanded justice, fond memories of his personality will live on. Circumstances surrounding Garbutt's death are currently under investigation as authorities work to determine the cause and any possible links to foul play. A young boat captain from San Pedro town was tragically shot and killed in broad daylight on Friday afternoon in the Old Capital. The victim was identified as 26-year-old Zenedine Pinello. The shooting unfolded around 12:35 p.m. on Hunter's Lane, a bustling area known for its busy street activity. Responding swiftly to reports of gunfire, officers from the Northside Criminal Investigations Branch arrived at the scene to find the lifeless body of Pinello lying on the ground. He had received multiple gunshot wounds. Authorities have not yet made any arrests but have launched an active investigation into the circumstances, which have revealed that Pinello visited the city with the intent to purchase a motorcycle. Instead, he was ambushed by a group of 6 men.
Information that he went to Hunter's Lane along with another male person to do a business transaction. Thereafter, when he arrived there were 6 other persons there. They attacked him, robbed him, and one of the persons shot him, causing his fatal injuries. We have 2 persons in custody in regards to this murder.
What was the nature of the business they were doing?
He went to do a purchase from a person there. He went there with some cash to do a purchase, and so he was stolen from him was his firearm and some cash.
Are you all able to say how much cash?
We do not know at this time, no.
Was it illicit? I don't see any storefront in Hunter's Lane. So was it a licit or an illicit purchase?
Information is that he was to purchase a motorcycle. That is the information we got. However, we are doing more follow-up to see what the actual transaction was.
Do you all believe that he was led or lured to this location?
Yes, we believe he was led there. When he arrived, there were 6 persons waiting there. These are the persons that attacked him.
Coming up next, the turmoil persists within the UDP. Stay tuned.
Every day, we access energy for cooling, lighting, and powering our electrical appliances and devices at work and at home. During cooler months, we rely less on cooling appliances such as fans and air conditioners. However, during warmer months, as the temperature and humidity rises, we use more energy to cool our spaces, and our appliances and electrical devices work harder than they do during the rest of the year. When the months become hotter, let's all practice energy conservation. Here are a few changes that you can make to manage your energy use. Check that all appliances and electrical devices are working efficiently. Turn lights off when not in the room. Unplug chargers, appliances when not in use. Turn off fans and TVs. Use energy-saving light bulbs such as LEDs. and look for the Energy Star products when purchasing appliances and electrical devices. These easy changes can reduce energy use and costs. You can also monitor your energy use during the month by reading your meter and calculating the reading using BEL's bill calculator on our mobile app or by visiting our website. Let's all save energy.
More than 35 persons are currently behind bars following the implementation of a state of emergency, which was enacted last week in areas of Belize City and the Cayo district. The SOE was implemented following an increase in gang-related crime. The SOE has now been in effect for almost 4 days, and police gave the media an update on how many more men the police are looking to pick up as part of the SOE.
SOE operations continue. So far, 35 persons were sent to prison. We have another 35 that are being interviewed. Then we will know how much from that amount will be sent to prison today.
Sir, how do you respond to the report or characterization that a number of especially the heads, have been able to escape the SOE incarceration because they've turned over weapons, or in one case, a kilo of coke?
Several persons were detained, interviews were conducted, and then they are vetted, and then we determine who is taken to prison. That is all I know.
But are you all trading weapons for freedom?
Not that I know of, no.
The family of 32-year-old Selvin Seeley Jr. is demanding answers and accountability following his death while in police custody early Monday morning. The tragedy has left relatives devastated and seeking clarity on the circumstances surrounding his passing. The family has raised concerns about the events leading up to Seeley's death. Police informed them that Selvin was at a private rental property when security called the cops. Preliminary reports indicate that Seeley may have been handcuffed and transported to the police station after being subdued. According to Assistant Commissioner of Police Alberto Romero, Seeley was acting strangely near Villa Brazos around 6:30 a.m. He reportedly climbed a tree, claiming he was being chased by a dog. Police attempted to calm him down, but when he refused to cooperate, officers used force to subdue him.
Upon the arrival, the police saw that this person had climbed a tree. He was ordered to come down. There was a dispute between him and the police. Thereafter, he came down, and force had to be used for him to be subdued. He was then taken to custody, taken to the San Pedro station, where they noticed that he was in distress and had become unconscious. He was rushed to the San Pedro Polyclinic, where he succumbed. He was identified as Selvin Seeley, 23 years of San Pedro.
Seeley was then taken to the police station, where officers found him unresponsive. Emergency services rushed him to the San Pedro Polyclinic, but he was pronounced dead shortly after. As investigations continue, family members are calling for clear answers and justice for Selvin Seeley Jr. Moses Shine Barrow has made it publicly known that he is contemplating filing a claim against Tracy Tager Panton and her supporters alleging election fraud. Barrow argues that the October 28 convention, now deemed illegitimate by the High Court, set off fraudulent events that basically deprived him of his chances to secure the Mesopotamia constituency. With a firm conviction to move the party forward, Opposition Leader Honorable Tracy Panton today responded to those claims, saying that anyone has the right to utilize the legal process of the court.
If I may ask you, for your position as it relates to Mr. Barrow's contemplating another legal action against yourself and Mr. Chang on the seat in Mesop. What's your take on that?
That's his prerogative. I don't usually respond to madmen. I think he's a madman. There was no fraud, as he alleges, But the legal system is there for any citizen of this country to utilize as they see fit. So that's entirely his prerogative.
For his part, the sitting area representative for Mess Up, Lee Mark Chang, he says he would be willing to return to the polls and embarrass Barrow for a second time.
If he takes me to court or takes us to court, it is what it is, and the court will decide what is our fate.
Do you feel as if though, if it does end up before a judge, there might be it could reach as far as having a by-election call?
First of all, the word fraud, what is the claim? We went in as UDP candidates, and the constituents, that we don't win by 1 or 2 votes. We win by 2 to 1, right? If I have to do it again, it will happen again, right? And it'll be the same verdict, just that it'll look bad again after that.
The price of liquid petroleum gas will experience a slight increase of 19 cents, which will come into effect at midnight on Wednesday, May 14th. The change reflects wholesale volume and retail sale by volume in both urban and rural areas. This means that the wholesale price for LPG will now be $4.30, up from $4.11. In urban areas, the retail price will be $1.35 per pound or $5.90 per gallon. Prices in the rural areas will decrease to $1.37 per pound or $6 per gallon. According to the Supplies Control Unit SCU in the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, the increase of 10 cents per gallon is a result of an increase in the acquisition price of both butane and propane. The current divide within the opposition United Democratic Party seems to be getting deeper following a letter reportedly sent by leader of the opposition, Tracy Panton, to United Democratic Party UDP Vice Chairman Alberto August. In this letter, Panton is reportedly demanding that the party's current leadership immediately honor the constitutional requirements for convening a National Party Council, NPC meeting, and a national convention. Now, while the legitimacy of this communication has not yet been confirmed, it is reported that in that letter, Panton is threatening to step aside as leader of the party if those demands are not met. When questioned about this matter earlier this week, the opposition leader, while not confirming that she sent the letter, does maintain that an NPC is in high order for the UDP.
What's the next steps if the NPC meeting isn't called?
I believe the NPC meeting will be called. If the NPC meeting is not called, we will have to take the matter to court and have the court compel Mr. August to hold the NPC meeting.
But you're not planning to step down from leadership of the party?
Where did you get that idea from?
That's what the quote said in the letter.
I just answered your question. Tracy Panton is going nowhere. I have the confidence and support of my colleagues. I certainly have the support of the public at large. I will not be held hostage. I will not be undermined. And Mr. August has a duty and a responsibility to execute. And if he loves the party as much as I believe he does, and as much as he advocates that he does, he will call the NPC.
While Panton believes that the NPC meeting will be called in good faith, Panton says she is prepared to settle the issue before the courts.
Tracy Panton is going nowhere. I am here to fight to ensure that the democracy in this country prevails. I am going to fight to the best of my ability to ensure that the needs and concerns of the people are heard. Alberto August, as the Vice Chairman status quo ante, has a duty, an obligation, a responsibility to convene the NPC. It has been petitioned, so he has no discretion where that is concerned. I will not be held hostage to Vice Chairman status quo ante who refuses to do his job. I will not be undermined by a vice chairman status quo ante, and I will certainly not yield to a madman.
And here is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
It's the biggest Pro SC card of the year, as 3 titles are at stake. As lightweight champion Marvin Mundo defends his belt against the #1 contender Raheem Lambe, and flyweight champion Jeffrey Martinez faces a hard-hitting Mexican Miguel Garcia Calderon. Plus KO specialist Diego Lopez from Honduras goes toe-to-toe with Kalen Smith from Belize City for the bantamweight belt. There will also be 11 other exciting MMA fights, including a special international female fight as May Blanco from Mexico faces the Nicaraguan Lady Oscarina Lopez in what is sure to be the fight of the night. General admission tickets are only $30 and VIP tickets are $100. On Saturday, May 17th, Prophecy Fighting Championship presents Pro FC 60 Martinez versus Garcia, live from the Princess Vegas Hotel and Casino in Santa Elena, Corozal, exclusively on the Express Plus app.
Pro FC 16 is brought to you by Sherwin-Williams, DigiWallet, Corozal Commercial Free Zone, Bellikin Stout.
More than 35 persons are currently behind bars following the implementation of a state of emergency which was enacted last week in areas of Belize City and the Cayo District. The SOE was implemented following an increase in gang-related crime. The SOE has now been in effect for almost 4 days, and police gave the media an update on how many more men the police are looking to pick up as part of the SOE. The Protected Areas Conservation Trust Pact has successfully secured its re-accreditation as a national implementing entity (NIE) of the Adaptation Fund, allowing it to continue channeling international climate finance into Belize for another 5 years. The decision was made during the 44th meeting of the Adaptation Fund Board on April 11th, with official notification sent on May 7th. Since first being accredited in 2011 and re-accredited in 2019, PACT has mobilized over $18.3 million Belize dollars for climate resilience and adaptation projects across Belize. With $10 million Belize dollars currently in the pipeline, the organization aims to raise an additional $40 million Belize dollars during this new cycle. The Adaptation Fund supports the vulnerable communities worldwide in addressing the impacts of climate change and has committed $1.25 billion to resilience initiatives benefiting nearly 46 million people globally. Honorable Oscar Mira, Minister of National Defense and Border Security, and the CEO Francis Usher met with the Commandant of the Belize Coast Guard, Rear Admiral Elton Bennett, and other senior officers for a briefing on the Coast Guard's command plan for the next 12 months. The session occurred during the Belize Coast Guard's Senior Officers Conference held May 8 to the 9th at the Coxcomb Basin Wildlife Sanctuary. Key focus areas were recruitment, welfare programs, capacity building, and infrastructure development. Belize Coast Guard continues to demonstrate commitment to national security and maritime excellence. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, May 14th here on CTV3 News and the Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.